everyone. My name is Lauren Antone, and I'm the Senior Marketing and Events Coordinator at MAR, as well as the producer of our free webinar series. Our webinar today is RPR's top 10 features for building your business. This webinar will provide you with highlights on RPR's most popular features that can help meet your business needs, including their new mailing label feature. During the session, you'll learn how to improve prospecting and farming strategies, run accurate comp analyses, identify distressed properties, generate neighborhood reports, value home improvements, get an overview of RPR Mobile, and so much more. After our live session, the webinar will be recorded and added to our website at marealtor.com. If you have any questions throughout the session, please type them in the bottom of the chat box on your screen, and we will hold a Q&A afterward. Our presenter today is Veronica McManus. As a Regional Director for Realtors Property Resource, Veronica assists over 60 state and local realtor associations and MLSs in implementing the realtor benefit of RPR. A realtor since 1994, Veronica has been an agent, office manager, and education director of a multi-office franchise. As an active realtor volunteer, she has served as the 2013 president and the 2015 Realtor of the Year of the former Eastern Middlesex Association of Realtors. In 2013, she served as Massachusetts State President for Women's Council of Realtors. Currently, Veronica serves on the MAR Broker Summit Focus Group and the G-Bar Awards Committee. In addition to her work for RPR, Veronica has presented to realtors across the country on many topics, including agent technology tools, agent development, and public speaking. Most recently, she has been a guest on the NAR Center for Realtor Development and Oklahoma Association of Realtors podcasts. She holds a Massachusetts broker's license and is an approved CEU instructor for Massachusetts, Rhode Island, and New York, and has earned the GRI, PMN, and ITI designations. Now over to Veronica.
Thanks so much, Lauren. It's great to be here addressing my fellow Massachusetts realtors, and I look forward to sharing a few of the highlights from RPR that can help you in your business that you can implement right away. I'm going to also show you where you can get more training online for RPR. And of course, if you have any questions at all, our 24-hour, 7-day-a-week help center is always available to you. And you can get help on the phone, or via chat, or visiting our knowledge base. And I'll show you where that is available as well. We're going to be together for about 45 minutes on this presentation, and then we'll have some time for questions. And please don't hesitate to ask any questions, and we'll get going now. Okay. So I do want to give you kind of a little bit, just a small overview of what RPR is. And RPR was created by National Association of Realtors to help the realtors in the field combat misinformation and aggregate the data and reinforce the fact that realtors are the real estate industry expert. There are many websites out there that represent themselves as being real estate industry experts, but we all know that it's the realtor in the field that knows their market, knows their culture, that is the expert. So we've compiled data from across the country from over 300 different sources, and now you have one source that you can go to get the information that you need. Ideally, what RPR's function is to help you save money, make money, and reinforce the realtor brand. What you're going to find in RPR is information on over 170 million parcels of property in the United States. That's tax records, mortgage records, deeds, default records. We are the largest data aggregator of default records. What do I mean by default? I mean notice of default, notice of foreclosure, notice of sale, list pendants. We have 35 million of those records. And we also have the MLS Pin, Cape Cod and Islands, and the Berkshire Association of Realtors MLS data, as well as NERIN and Rhode Island statewide data. So if you belong to any of those MLSs, you'll find that data within RPR. So we have all the REOs and short sales, and we've partnered with RealtyTrack. We have photos and valuations. I'll talk about the valuations when we get into the system, but we do create a value on every property in the United States, and our RVM, Realtor Valuation Model, is accurate within 10% plus or minus of fair market value 90 to 95% of the time. So when you see a value in RVM on a property in RPR, based on the numbers, that number is going to be within 10% plus or minus. And I said based on the numbers. It's subject to a visual inspection of the property. And we give you 3 different CMA tools to value that property once you see it. So you'll be able to search nationwide for parcels across the country. So you can look up any property in the country and pretty much find out who owns it, what they paid for it, what their mortgages are, and if there are any distress notices on it. We have the 3 CMA tools that I talked about, dynamic mapping. We have over 12 different heat maps, including all of FEMA's digitized flood maps. We have a number of different reports that I'll show you. And imagine taking all of this data and putting it in the palm of your hand with our RPR mobile app. And it's available on iOS and Apple products. Where are you going to get more training after today? Because I guarantee you at the end of the 45 minutes, your heads are going to be spinning and you're going to want to know more. So you're going to go to our blog, blog.narrpr.com, and go to training. And I'll show you the blog when we move forward into the live presentation. So you'll be able to get a number of different training webinars on so many different features, whether you're working with buyers, sellers, looking for investors, or prospecting. We have many different live and recorded webinars, as well as videos and ebooks. You'll all want to go onto Facebook and go to RPR Connect, because what you'll find in RPR Connect is advance notice on new features that we're going to be implementing in RPR, such as our recently released ability to create mailing labels, and I'll show you that as well. Also, you'll be able to see how other realtors across the country are using RPR, and you can use the RPR Connect as a forum to communicate with other realtors using RPR, find out how they use it, or if you're trying to have a workaround or need a solution. Certainly, again, as I said, our customer service center is open 24/7, but sometimes you want to speak with another realtor, and this is a great way to do that. For your broker, for you broker owners and managers that are out there, as well as associates that you like these features that I'm going to show you that are available to the brokers can brand the RPR website, mobile and desktop, and all reports so that they reflect your company name, logo, and colors. So what I'm going to show you is just an example of the company branded reports, because you as a realtor, when you want to reinforce your image out in the marketplace, we would really like to have your company branded. So if any of you think this is a great idea, want your broker to do it, there's no cost, and we have other features that are available for the brokers. So if you want to have your reports branded, let me know. Just shoot me an email. My email address is Veronica, Veronica, Veronica M at narrpr.com. And let me know, and I'll point the broker in the right direction. Again, there's no cost to brand, as well as the other features available. So let's talk a little bit first about the app, the RPR app. As I said, you can take all of that data I showed you on the earlier slide, including our CMAs. Well, one of the CMAs is available for a quick CMA within the RPR app. It's all owned by NAR. You own this. A portion, a very small portion of your national dues funds RPR. Also, all of the MLS data that we get from all of the MLSs across the country, once it comes into RPR, it stays in RPR. We don't give it away, sell it, or share it with anyone unless we have the permission from the MLS. So right now, all of that data is stored right in RPR. So for prospecting, so in the palm of your hand, you can have access immediately wherever you are. Imagine being out with a buyer, going to one of the 6 properties that you've scheduled an appointment at, and then they ask you about another property, or maybe there's a for sale sign across the street from the property that you're currently viewing, and they want to know about it. You don't have to stumble, you don't have to fumble. Even if it's a FSBO, you can look that property up in RPR. If it's ever been listed before, all of the previous MLS data will be in there. For the MLSs in Massachusetts, we have almost now about 15 years worth of data in RPR, MLS data. So you can quickly see what that info is and email a report on the property right then and there to that buyer. Even if you had no idea about it, that buyer isn't going to know because you have the RPR app in the palm of your hand with the ability to give them all the info that they want to know right away. Because we all know that they need that info immediately. We're in a society where people want info right then and there. So you'll easily be able to give them that info. When you're at an open house, you'll have that info in the palm of your hand again. Say a buyer walks in, views the property, and say, you know what? We love the neighborhood, but this property doesn't really suit our needs. There's a button on RPR Mobile that you can quickly pull up a list of all properties in the area of the neighborhood, and you can set it whether it's a mile or 5 miles out to 10 miles out. But if we're talking neighborhood, of course, you're going to do a half mile perhaps, or even a mile, so that you can show them immediately properties that are available, and you have the ability to make appointments within the app. As I said, you can look at coming soon properties, FSBO information, and school zones and reports. And you can also use the RPR app on your tablet. So if you haven't downloaded the RPR app, I invite you to go to the Google Play Store or to the Apple Store and download the app right away. Again, no cost for that either. Everything and anything that you're going to do in RPR, and including mailing labels, producing up to 2,000 mailing labels a month, there's no charge. This is your Realtor membership benefit. So let's go into the RPR app now, into the RPR desktop site right now. And what I'm going to show you here is just a quick overview of what you're going to find on this page. You can go immediately to reports. Here's your home page. And right up here with the little graduation cap, this is a way to get a quick view of a video on learning, just a snippet. So the first thing I'm going to invite you to do on your own is go into the RPR system, create your account if you haven't already, and that's very easily done. We have a wizard that will walk you right through it. It'll take less than 5 minutes. And you'll want to view our 3-minute video, less than 3-minute video on creating mailing labels. And if it's your first time to RPR, take a couple of minutes here and just take a quick look at this video. Again, 6 minutes, not a long time, to get a good handle on this very powerful system. You'll also be able to see your recent properties, recent searches, and recent reports. So let's go over here. I want to show you, let's see how the mailing labels work. So I'm going to create for myself mailing labels for a farm area. And you know, I know that's an old term, a farm area. However, snail mail is coming back, folks. So in addition to maybe an electronic newsletter, or if you're using Facebook for your social media, and I'm going to show you how to use RPR reports in your social media, but I'd like you to really seriously consider creating a snail mail campaign, even if it's only 4 times a year. And you can do that in a very specialized way. So how I would like to do it is I would like to create a custom area for where I want to do my mailing. So I'm going to draw a shape on the map. I'm going to use a polygon, and I'm going to scroll in a little closer by using the zoom button, and let's get over to the area that I want to use. And I'm just going to quickly go over here, see if we have any questions. And so we've got some trouble with the audio. I apologize, I didn't check this earlier. Can you raise your hands? There's a little raise your hand button. And okay, so Eric, can you all raise your hands if you can hear me now? Can anybody raise their hand? We've got 36 attendees. on the Go to Webinar control panel, you'll be able to see a little hand. I'm going to put all hands down, and then I want to, can you tell me if you can hear me? Can you raise the, oh, terrific. Thanks so much. We've got a couple of hands raised, so we're excellent, excellent, great. Thank you so much, and I'm going to speak up a little bit louder. I'm going to put your hands down now and close the control panel, and I really appreciate that, and I apologize for not checking that sooner. We did do a couple of sound checks before we started and thought we were all set. So getting back here, I'm just going to scroll in. As I said, I want to zoom in to the area that I would like to create my custom area to generate mailing labels for a snail mail campaign. So what I've done is I've opened up the map tools, clicked on Polygon, scrolled into the area that I want to create my list, and I'm just going to start drawing. So click on Polygon, and I'm going to, all right, and up. Sure, it's usually much easier. Oh, here we go. I have to click back on Polygon again because I clicked the edit button. And here we go. I'm going to edit this area, draw my shape again. I reset the map, apologize for that. Draw my shape. And I'm going to go over here because that's not working for me right now. I'm going to use, and that's operator error, folks. Just so you know, it's operator error. Let me scroll back out again. And I'm going to create a intermediate, I'm going to use the elementary school area. So now it's outlined, and I'll scroll out so that you can see the elementary school area. I'm going to select that area, and that's the Hurled Elementary School area. As you can see, I'm going to now come over here and look on my left-hand side. I don't want for lease, I don't want for sale. I'm just going to really fine-tune my search, and I'm going to scroll down because all I want to address here are the single-family homes, and I want to also just target the single-family homes that were sold. Here, I'm going to do, say 3 years ago. I could do a custom date range here if I wanted to, but I'm just going to go within 3 years, and I'm going to click apply. And all of this is done live, folks. I haven't gone in and started early, so I've come up with 975 properties that were sold in this area in the last 3 years. And I want to fine tune this a little bit more. I just want to look at 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom properties with 3 bedrooms. Because why do I want to do that? I've just gotten a new listing, say, in that school district, and I got a new listing that I want to market to folks that have bought within the last 3 years. Actually, let's see if I can, let me just do this date range. I want to go back, I'm going to go back to 1/1/2000 because I'm targeting folks that purchased their property from January of 2000 to January of 2001. So maybe they're ready to move. So I'm going to click this here. That makes a little more sense, more real life, because those folks might be ready to move. So we've got 157 properties that I want to market my new listing to. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the mailing labels link. I've fine-tuned the area, and I can create a PDF and print out my labels for these 3 different Avery sizes, or maybe I just want to grab those addresses and put them on an Excel spreadsheet and send them over to my marketing person. But I'm going to create some labels, and I'm going to go by tax billing because I want to eliminate any duplicates. I also want to go by the owner name. So I want to send it to the owner's name, and I want to only send it to owner occupied. These are my choices. So now I also want to exclude properties on the mailing list. I also want to exclude listed properties and any properties that have an incomplete address. And so now I can see over here that I have 2,000 mailing labels available to me per month. And in this record that I'm going to export is 145. So I've used 145 of my 2,000 mailing. And now I'm just going to click print, and it's all set for me. Super simple. I took a little bit to pull the list where I wanted it to go as I was doing this live with you. So this is a super way to start using your RPR feature of mailing labels. Just think about different prospecting or different target markets that you want to use. You can also, from this area, you can search in this geography for listings. You can create a market activity report. So maybe that's another feature that you wanted to do. Maybe you did selected a few streets and you want to create a market activity report and mail that out as one of your 12 touches per year with your prospective clients. So now I'm going to quickly just check and see if there are any more questions. So we do have a question here. I don't have any more questions. I hope you can still, we've got 31 folks. I'll again speak a little bit louder. And I'm going to close that up. So let's move on. So from here, let me quickly give you a look at what a active listing in RPR looks like. So I'm going to click for sale. I'll go with Woburn again. And I can also select by zip code if I want to. So as I click here, I'll just move this to scroll down a little bit. And I'm just going to quickly just select a property that is available here in Woburn. And it's going to be a condo marketed at $939,000. And I'll go actually back to my search results because I want to show you a property that has an RVM. And here we go. So this property is pending. And as you can see here, the list price is $849,900. The RVM says $943,350. Does that necessarily mean that this property was priced $100,000 under market value? It's possible. Maybe the seller is motivated. We are about 100% confident that this is the correct RVM. However, remember, that is based on numbers only. And maybe when the list agent or potential list agent went into the property, there was something either with the condition or location that didn't warrant an RVM, warrant a market price at this value. So that's just something to keep in mind. You'll find on the right-hand side of the property the listing agent information, historical records for the property, so you can see the multiple times that the property had been listed. And you can see that the property was currently listed back in May of 2019. So perhaps there were some price reductions. We can take a look at that. That could be why the property is priced at $850 right now. And it was also listed in 2015. There's some information about the community. We can look at historical photos from when it was first listed. You can make some notes. You can upload your own photos. You can put in seller's proceeds. We can look at the seller's, the homeowner's information, public facts, listing facts, and your changes. Always great. Your changes is always a great feature with older homes because very often what we see is not as what is listed in public record or on the listing sheet. On the right-hand side are nearby schools. We have some median estimated home values, room details, interior feature details. There's a combination of public record and the MLS listing. Other details, school info, if there's a homeowner's information, tax info, and deed information. So you can look at all of that. Here's this history and charts. I invite you to go in and take a look at that on your own. Here's a feature that I wanted to bring to your attention, especially where you go into a property, and typically an older property, and you can see that they've done a number of different home improvements. So we have gone through, and we are working with a company called Hanley Wood that produces Remodeling Magazine, and we're adding home improvements. So we've asked them to give us today's value on historical home improvements based on zip code and the detail of the property. So in a property like this that's valued in the $800,000 to $900,000 range, one would imagine if they were going to put in a new kitchen in this property, and let's say they did that kitchen 5 years ago. And of course, they think that the kitchen's brand new. They spent $75,000 on the kitchen. It was a major kitchen upscale remodel. And let's say they did that in January of 2014, and they spent $75,000 on that. Well, we all know that they would like you to add $75,000 onto that list price, but we know that that kitchen from 5 years ago does not still carry that $75,000 value. So working with Hanley Wood, they have investigated across the country. They broke the country down into 8 geographic areas, and they have calculated for RPR what today's value is on that $75,000 kitchen. So when you look at the description, and there are a number of descriptions for kitchen remodels, mid-range or upscale remodel, if what you see pretty much matches what is here, when you click add, you can see that that kitchen today is worth $39,375. I can tell you from personal experience that this works. As a matter of fact, selling my own home in 2014, I knew what the property was going to be valued at. However, RPR's value was considerably less because there wasn't enough data to create a current RVM. And so the estimate was about $100,000 less than I knew the property would sell for and what I should list it for. So I came in here and I refined the value based on the home improvements that I had done. And when I sold, I was only $2,000 difference between the value that came up over here, the refined value, and what I sold the property for. So I invite you to come in and experiment on this. Do just a little theoretical refine the value on your own home. We all know what our properties would go for out on the market. So the other thing that I want to show to you is our comp analysis. So a comp analysis is one of our 3 CMA programs. And this one here is our typical CMA selecting actives, pendings, and closed. And this one, sales comp analysis, is based on how an appraiser would do an appraisal. So I want to just quickly show you the difference. When I confirm the facts here with this comp analysis, as you can see, we have a number of different features that you'll be able to make corrections to if anything is different than what is here. You'll make your corrections or additions. You'll confirm the class, confirm that information, and close. Now I want to show you the difference that if you were to use the CMA based on how an appraiser would do it. Oh, let me just open that back up again and cancel. And that's going to be here. I'm going to click Sales Comparison Analysis, confirm the facts. And as you can see, we have a lot more features that you would either correct or add or subtract value. That's going to go here. It's actually making corrections here. So you would then confirm your facts and close. And then here, when it goes to find the comps, would select a number of different comps. You'll search an area for several properties. You can also add a property that you know of. Put in your property type, property status of what you'd like to select. Within the last 6 months, I'm going to select 3 to 4 bedroom homes with 2 to 3 bathrooms. Living area, I'll leave the same, and then I'll click search. Or if I want to, and here's my subject property, if I want, I could use a geography. I may want to go in the zip code. I may want to draw a shape. So if I don't do that, I'm going to be able to pull from this entire map view. I can expand the map by zooming out, or I can zoom in. So I want to get the most choices right now just for you to see how this works. So I'll click search. And I want you to remember that RPR is selecting properties based on the numbers. It's not based on style. Now here we've only come up with 2. I could have zoomed out more to get more, but just let me add in these 3, because what I really want to show you on this, remember I'm showing you how, I'm not doing it exactly as we would doing a CMA. But I want to be able to show you that you can now come in. Here is your subject property. Here are the comps, and I can now come in and add or subtract value the way an appraiser would. I'm going to make the recommendation to you that I'm going to update this valuation and close, and I'll show you again where you can get more detail on how to create the CMA. But the suggestion I want to make to you is now, when you're working with your buyers, start asking them for a copy of the appraisal report so that you can see exactly the values that appraisers are using out in the field to give you more information. And I can't take credit for this tip. I got this tip from a very prominent realtor in Massachusetts who uses the RPR sales comparison analysis tool along with copies of appraisals to create highly accurate and detailed CMAs for her clients. So identifying distressed properties, how are we going to do that? So say I have properties, I want to look at all properties, and I will select, say, Haverhill, Mass. And I'm going to open this up to, click Haverhill, open it up to advanced, because say I have a client who is looking at distressed properties and they would like to look at all properties that have notices of foreclosures. They specifically want to look at single family homes in Haverhill. And so now I've clicked distressed, single family, and I will go over here and click search. And RPR will then give me a list of all properties. Oh, none in Haverhill. I find that a little bit hard to believe. So there must be something that I did not click here. But let's try Woburn. Click advanced, and I'll click all and search. And here we go. So all properties that are listed in red, off market means that they are not listed and they have had a notice of distress filed on them. And we can see this is a pre-foreclosure, newly filed complaint. And when we open up this property and we go to history, we'll be able to go down here and we'll see the type of distressed information. So recorded on March 15th was a newly filed notice of default, and it's now in pre-foreclosure. And this is the information that's available. In many cases, you may even see the entity that has filed that notice of default and contact information and perhaps even a telephone number. So you could actually do a target search for mailing with the mailing labels by targeting distressed properties. And that's how you're going to find and identify distressed properties. So let's talk about prospecting a little bit more. We talked about prospecting with using the mailing labels feature. Let's talk about prospecting using the RPR sharing to Facebook and creating those reports. I'm going to quickly check and see if there are any questions. So for prospecting with mailing labels, is there a place to pull phone numbers to follow up with farm prospect lists? In the property, on the property summary page, if phone numbers are available, I'm going to click over to the summary page. If phone numbers are available, they'll be under the homeowner facts. So the question was, for prospecting with mailing labels, is there a place to pull phone numbers to follow up with farm prospect lists? So that's where you'll find if there are any phone numbers, and that's regardless of whether or not you're using the mailing labels. The RVM, what is the RVM? And RVM stands for? Thanks so much for asking that. So an RVM is a realtor valuation model, and throughout the system, wherever you see the blue eye, the blue circle with the eye in the middle, or learn more. So an RVM is an estimate in addition to or instead of an AVM. So the most popular AVM in the marketplace is a Zestimate. So RPR has created a value that's much more accurate than a Zestimate, and we call it an RVM. And why it's different is because we have the secret sauce of MLS listing data, the sales and off-market data that gives us a much more accurate home valuation. And the RVMs are updated approximately every 6 weeks. So you may come in and today this property has an RVM. It was last updated on the 2nd of July. And maybe in 6 weeks, it might just be an AVM, which isn't as accurate as the RVM. The reason being is there hasn't been any recent MLS data. But again, just come in, take a peek at the RVM, click on the blue circle with the white eye, and you'll be able to get a refresher on exactly what the RVM is. So let's see, what else do we have? Thank you, Eric. Eric says there seems to be much more features and user friendliness in the RPR app and website. It is very user friendly. Let me just see. Okay, Donna, let's see what your question was. I apologize that I didn't see that sooner. Okay, we've got that question answered. Again, my apologies. And let me see what else we have here. Okay, great. So we're done with the questions, and Lauren's going to keep me posted on questions. I jumped ahead, but it was great to be able to share that RVM info right while I was in the app. So the thing that I talked about before I answered those questions was using RPR to use in your marketing. So I created a couple of neighborhood reports. I want to show you how to create a neighborhood report. I referenced in prospecting about 12 touches. Ideally, when you're prospecting and farming or reaching out to your sphere of influence, you want to touch them 12 times a year minimum. And you may do that in a number of different ways, either through snail mail or with a social media campaign. And we're always looking for good quality content. And RPR can provide that for you. And one of the ways we do is with a neighborhood report. So if you do a neighborhood report, that's going to give you information on housing, people, economy, and quality of life. You can create a neighborhood report using all of this data at once, and you could use that as your 12-touch. Or you can send out maybe just once a month on housing, the next month people, the next month economy, the next month quality of life. So let me quickly show you what the housing page looks like. So a housing page is going to give housing facts and stats, median estimated home values, comparing and contrasting the city with the county, with the state, with the country. You'll see estimated home values with 12-month change, 1-month change, 12-month change, median home age, percentage of owners versus renters, value of buildings for which permits were issued. And you can then, and if the data is not available, as it is here, these three, that's not available from Woburn. But in Middlesex County, there are communities that do report that data that we then collect. We collect our data for over 300 sources, including the census. Here's one of those about this data things where you'll open it up. It'll tell you what you're looking at, where we got the information from, and how often it's updated. So this would be an example of a housing page that you can see the price range of homes sold, the price per square foot of homes sold, size of homes sold, age range of homes sold. And you can look this up by zip code. So if you have a community with multiple zip codes, and you could even enter in the names of different developments or condo complexes. Go in and experiment when you're entering in the search bar the community, so you can drill down a little bit more versus a wide scale. But if you just want to give some general information on the community, you could go forward and create a report just on this page. You click create a report, and then I'm going to click on neighborhood report. And when I open up the more details page, this is where I can select the page out of the neighborhood report that I want. So if I just wanted to create information on housing stats and charts, I would just click the neighborhood housing stats and charts. And if you want to include the information about RPR and our data, you could keep that in there. That makes you the source of the source of information. And just very quickly, I want to answer Courtney Marcos's question about traffic counts for residential neighborhoods or only for commercial. And that is on the commercial side, but you can create a neighborhood or look at a neighborhood and get traffic counts. Folks, that comes out of our commercial side, traffic counts, and you'll just be able to toggle over to commercial. I'll show you that in a moment. And we were going to talk about how to show us how to prospect and then send it to Facebook. So we're doing that right now, Sarah. I'm showing you how to create the report, and then we'll show you how to share it to Facebook. So you can personalize your report with a name, a message, and how to deliver it, display now. So I've already created a neighborhood report for Woburn. So right over here on the left-hand side, all your reports are created and kept for 30 days. I'm going to click on the orange circle with the white plus, and that's going to give me things I can do with the report. Share on Facebook. So from the desktop, you can share to Facebook. From RPR Mobile, you can tweet, text, post to Instagram, and post to Facebook. From the desktop, it's just Facebook. So I want to just quickly go over here to my Facebook page. You can see here what's on my mind. Here's something that was posted on July 14. So now I'll go back over here to RPR, and I want to share on Facebook. And I can put in a message right here. Say something about this. And I'm going to say loving sharing RPR with the Mass Association of Realtors right here. And you can also, if you have your lists created down here, so say you have specific lists that you want to share this information with, you can then decide who you want to share it with and where you want it to go, and then post to Facebook. And now I'm going to go back to my Facebook page, refresh my page, and here it is. So when people view your Facebook page and they want to look at the NAR, when they want to look at the RPR report, here's your information on the front of that report, and I'm going to click on the report, and there it is, available for your social media sphere. And that on this particular report I created, I used all of the information. I used all pages, the housing information, and I used the neighborhood information, and which shows education level. So it's 11 pages. This is why I suggested that perhaps instead of the full 11 pages of the report, that you maybe want to focus on one feature at a time. Neighborhood economic stats and charts, neighborhood information. So that's how you share a report to Facebook. And I'm going to now just delete that report. Actually, I'll just leave it there. So that's how you share a report to Facebook. The other type of report that you could share, I also created a market activity report for Lexington. So you could create a market activity report, and the way you create a market activity report is you can create it right from that page, or you can come in here, select market activity, select the zip code that you want to use. You can show changes in the last 6 months, the last week, last 3 days. So fine tune how you'd like to do it. So maybe I want to do a monthly report, and I can show all of the different features, all of the different statuses, and I could even more finely tune it if I want and select just singles or all of the properties. I can do ranges. I can fine tune it, refine it by bedrooms or bathrooms or year built. And then once I make my selections, I'm going to select search, and this is going to be a market activity. These are market updates. So it will give me all of the market updates. There are 43 properties that fit the criteria I selected, and I'm going to go to create a report, and I will create my market activity report. On all of these different reports, if I click the drop down for more details, I can fine tune that market activity report. Really important to run some sample reports so that you can see what a report looks like containing the different elements, especially with your seller's reports. Those are your CMAs, because if you leave every element checked off, you'll end up with an 85-page report. And even your most analytical clients don't want to see 85 pages. So getting back to the market activity report, I am going to select market activity report, same thing, personalize it, and then just click run report. And I created one earlier for Lexington, Mass. So I'm going to open that up, and this is 6 pages, and this is what it looks like. Here's your front page, your cover page that's going to be created every time you create a report, and I'm going to show you how to keep that updated and fully, really nice and robust, and I'll show you that in just a moment. But this is an example of what an activity report looks like. Market activity summary stats, and this is shared to Facebook exactly the same way I showed the neighborhood report. And that is all of the new listings, more new listings. This would be a great report if you wanted to share it to Facebook, or if you wanted to update a seller as to what's happening. You can also do a mini property report for your seller, maybe a month or so after the listing has been taken. I'm going to check for any new questions. And let's see, would you recommend RPR instead of MLS Pin to run my business with? Since both are connected, RPR has tons more features. All the data on MLS Pin is available in RPR, right? Well, it's different. So with MLS Pin, you actually can go into MLS Pin, get the information you need, and we actually have deep links in MLS Pin. So if you're on a property in Pin, you can look for the RPR logo right here, click on it, and you'll automatically come into RPR. All of the MLSs are our valued partners, and between the MLS, RPR, and the tools offered by your association and your broker, you have 4 sources that you can run your business with. MLS Pin has some really great tools, and I think in conjunction with RPR, you will have a very robust data set for you to create different reports and to run your business. Is the RPR data updated in real time with MLS Pin? It's not real time, but generally it's going to take really not more, at most 2 hours for any changes in Pin to show up in RPR. So you'll always be able to find the property info because we have all the public records. However, if you're looking for the MLS Pin status changes, that may not show up for about 2 hours. Now we have 6 minutes left, and I have to turn it back over to Lauren in just a moment, but I want to show you how to insert custom PDFs, because along with the broker tools and for the agent, the broker can add 5 pages that they want to have available for you to use in your reports, and you can add 5 PDFs in as well. So if you want to add in testimonials to your reports, a resume, any type of materials, image pieces, you're going to come over here to the right-hand side on the report page, click on Manage Custom Pages, and then you will just if you will just add. So when I click add, you'll be able to take from your desktop or wherever you're storing your PDFs, just click add, select them, and they'll be updated. And that's the same as for your broker owner manager. Now over here, your profile information, you're going to want to make sure that that is updated. So here's my profile. It opens up. I can add in a custom logo of my own. I can change my photos. And here's all of the information that I want to have show up on my report cover. Multiple phone numbers, email addresses. If you want to add in websites that you want to have as a reference for your clients, that can all be found here. Lastly, so we've covered neighborhood reports, how to identify distressed properties, insert custom PDFs, customize your report pages, that's customizing the elements, adding in the PDFs, running comp analyses, sharing social media, and how to generate mailing labels. We reviewed the app. So all these things that I talked about today, where are you going to find more info? You're going to go to our blog, blog.narrpr.com, and click on training. When we click on training, this is where you'll be able to go to workshops, video learning. If you need a quick printable handout, it's going to be right here, and ebooks are here. There's no cost for any of these features. When you click on workshops, here are all the topics that you can get information on. So more about prospecting with our farming information, grabbing some inventory. How do I prospect and increase inventory? I need that. Okay, now I've gotten I've created some inventory, I've done my prospecting, my farming. Now how about creating a listing presentation? You want to know more about mobile? It's right here. How am I going to use RPR in an open house? Ooh, what about pricing? I want a review of those CMAs. Or I want to know more about prospecting. How do I use it with relocation? It's all here. So we have 3 minutes left, and I'm going to turn it over to Lauren. I'm going to do one last check on questions before I do that, and it's about traffic counts. I don't have time for the traffic counts, but I will quickly show you how you get over there. Let me just go here, go back to, you're going to come over here to commercial. And that's where you'll find traffic counts. But go to the training and grab something out of commercial, and it will show traffic counts. You can also email me at Veronica M. I'm going to quickly type that in. While I'm typing it in, I'm going to thank you, and I'm going to turn the mic over to Lauren.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much, Veronica. It does look like we have a couple more questions here. I encourage anyone who has any questions to go ahead and add it to your chat box now. What is another explanation for Realtor's valuation model? Is it like a CMA?
So it's actually it's like a Zestimate. So think of a Zestimate, except for the fact that Zestimates, as a rule, on average, if you go to Zillow, they'll tell you that their Zestimates are accurate within 20% plus or minus of fair market value, 60 to 65% of the time, whereas our RVM is accurate within 10% plus or minus 90 to 95% of the time. So when you see an RVM with 5 stars on a property summary page in RPR, within 10% plus or minus, that's an accurate value, pending your physical inspection to look at the condition of the bedrooms, the bathrooms, the roof, etc. So also it's definitely information overload. So can you recommend a class for beginners? So what I recommend for beginners is when you sign into RPR, take that quick 6-minute video, or come over here to our learning resources and click on Getting Started and take a look at the learning tools for getting started. And my email, here it is. It's veronica.m@narrpr.com. I've just sent it to you all. and new concerns on do not call lists to check on phone calls. So on terms of the phone calls, you are going to have to use your own resource for checking the do not call list. We do have the do not mail list attached to the mail lists. Generally, I'll tell you here in the Massachusetts, we don't have many phone numbers. So in terms of, as I said, for the do not call list, you're going to have to use your own resource for that.
All right. Are there any other questions? I'll just give it a moment. Okay, that looks like that's all for questions today. As a reminder to everyone, this webinar has been recorded and will be available to view in the next few days on our website at marealtor.com. Thank you so much, Veronica, for your presentation, and thank you to everyone for joining today. We hope to see you next time.